The rich do not care about the poor, and the only poor people who don't understand that is MAGA.
Yep, you got that right. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by, supporting your girl on this channel. So all credit goes to the creators in this video. So guys, in today's video,
Again, the rich do not care about the poor, and the only poor folk who do not understand that is MAGA. You know why? Good morning.
It's time to speak up. Well, it appears the joke's on me. It appears I have been the biggest fool alive. You see, before the last couple of days, I knew that there was a segment of MAGA who just hated, who just wanted to burn the world down, and they don't care who they hurt. In the meantime, I knew there was that section, but I really thought that most of MAGA just didn't get it. I really thought they just didn't understand. They didn't understand economics because it's complicated. They hadn't studied Project 2025, so they didn't know what was coming. But I really thought when he got in there and started doing the things that hurt so many people, that they would realize, and that they would. But they don't care. Y'all have been telling me this for 2 months, and I kept saying, no, we just have to explain it to them. We just have. Now, I know there are a few, and I thank you guys. You make it worth sticking with this. But over the last couple of days, I have realized that the majority of Republicans do not care how many people are hurt. And they are exactly what Palpatine said. They're the ones he was talking about when he said he could unalive someone in public and they would still vote for him. I thought they just wanted lower egg prices. I thought they were struggling in the economy and it was hard, and they wanted their lives to be easier, and they listened to that. And that's why they voted for him. But they don't care. They literally don't care how many other people in this world are hurt. See, the difference is I'm willing to pay more for my eggs if it means no one in my country goes hungry tonight. I am willing to pay more for my eggs if it means everybody can have an egg. But they really don't care. And I am heartbroken that so many in my country don't care. That so many won't go love their neighbor. But I want to thank those of you who are. You're the ones keeping me going. Go love your neighbor.
girl, these people don't even care about themselves. I mean, they voted against their own self-interest, right? I mean, who votes against their self-interest? Voted against yourself, your family, your children, practically everything you stand to believe in. For what? Egg prices or gas prices? I mean, the best you could have done for yourself was to read Project 2025 and see what it said about all these things. Because now that the tariffs are on, now that grocery prices are not going down, now that so many boycotts are happening, now that Medicaid is being, taken off, now that Harvard is suing Trump, now that so many things are happening, you are now thinking that, oh, I see the consequences of my action. But I mean, you have nobody to blame but you. So deal with it.
If Donald Trump could make the cost of living so affordable that you only needed one person per household to be able to sustain the family, look out. Because as many girl bosses on this app, God bless you, but there are a whole ton of us that no longer want to girl boss. You want to know what I want to do? I want to stay home, cook healthy meals from scratch. I want to take care of my grass so that my husband, after he's worked his 50 hours a week, doesn't have to come home and take care of that too. I want to have pretty gifts at Christmas. I want to be able to spend time with my family instead of with Ted in accounting. I want to go to my nephew's hockey game and sponsor their team and bake goods and do all of that. Why? I'm tired. I'm tired of the grind. I'm tired of having to do both. At what point in our society did we say that women were no longer able to do this? When did that happen?
Cannot defeat the overt racism on the right if it doesn't handle its own covert racism. I think the most frustrating thing about racist liberals and honestly racist people on the left is that because they're not acting like MAGA, because they're not saying the N-word, because they're not ranting and raving about DEI, they don't know when they're being racist. If the only time you care to listen and to amplify messages about free healthcare or free universal education, when it's coming from your favorite white guy, like for example, Bernie Sanders, but when those messages are coming from black leaders, black politicians, you ignore it and you don't care. And then your message is, Bernie is the only one, Bernie, he's the only one. You're white-centered. You don't care about that message. You only, like, if several different leaders of color are also promulgating that message and you only care to listen when it's coming from your favorite white guy, the root of that is racism. The root of that is racism. Another example of this covert racism on the left is how hypercritical a lot of you are of black politicians. And last year, during the election, unfortunately, Kamala was on the receiving end of that hypercritical thing that you guys do to black politicians. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm still upset about you guys dragging her through the mud about Liz Cheney. But now that AOC and Bernie Sanders are reaching out to Republican voters, now all of a sudden you guys understand the importance of reaching to the importance of reaching over to the other side. But when Kamala did it, you guys had a problem with it. Like, so again, another manifestation of the racism on the left is how hypercritical you guys are of black leaders. Another thing, if you are overlooking how racism and also I'll say misogyny contributed to the outcome of the election, and you are naming every other problem, but you are deliberately ignoring how misogyny and racism was a part of why she lost, you have your own prejudice and racism to unpack. And the left cannot defeat the overt racism on the right if it doesn't handle its covert racism. Because at the end of the day, it's still racism, right? It's just covert and overt. One is really loud and proud. That's MAGA, that's the right. But there are traces of MAGA on the left. It just hides in the form of being more hypercritical to black leaders. It hides by ignoring racism as a contributing factor when a black politician isn't chosen. 45 people have served as president of this country, and out of the 45 of them, 44 of them were white men. And the one time the country deviated from that with Barack Obama, a cult was formed. So if you were on the left and you were saying, oh, no, the Democrats lost because of this, that, but you are not calling out how prejudice contributed to why Kamala Harris lost, you most likely have your own racism to unpack. And just because you're not saying the N-word, just because you're not acting like MAGA, just because you're not ranting and raving about DEI, it doesn't mean that you're not racist yourself.
Starting day one, he's going to bring prices down. It didn't happen. He's going to end the war in 24 hours. Didn't happen. He's not going to cut Medicaid, Medicare. It's not going to happen. At this point, folks, anybody that's still supporting this guy is supporting him for one reason. For one reason. And that's for a whiter America. That's it. Because you can ask any of them on here, what has he done that's improved your life? And what has he done for the economy? What has he done for... And they have nothing because he has done nothing. In fact, he's made things worse. So we see you on here making your comments about, I voted for this when we... You know, there's these horrible videos of people getting deported and families getting ripped. We know that. Like, you don't have to say it. But if you want to really be a man, come out and verbally say you want a whiter America. I guarantee none of you do it. None of you. Because, like in all my other videos, I've said every racist is a coward. They're cowards, folks. That's why the Klan had to wear the hoods. They're fucking cowards. They hide. They're nothing. They're nothing unless it's a 20-on-1. That's the only time they want to get big and brave. But they're cowards. So anybody that's still supporting this guy, you have no other reason right now. None. Zero. You see his corruption. But you slide it off to the side because racism is king to you.
Did you guys hear about red states after these tornadoes now begging for FEMA help? Isn't this the very thing that they voted against? Is this a FAFO for red states. Did you know that tornado season is coming? There is no plan in place for tornado season. These are all red states. Is this stupidity? Is it greed? Is it not being educated? What do you think? Do you think it's, oh, I didn't think it would affect me, or like I don't care about the other guy, and not realizing like that they need FEMA? What do you guys think it is? Drop your comments below.
Okay, so I was looking at a YouTube video a while ago, and they said that the Trump administration is going to crack down on what people can buy with food stamps, and also they're going to crack down on the budget. I'm going to say this. This is my opinion, and I ain't finna cut nobody's feelings and nothing in this. If you are disabled, meaning that you are unable to work, you're on SSI or whatever, you are in poverty level, you deserve to get food stamps or some kind of supplement to your income so that you can help buy food, because food is high. Number two, if you're one of these girls out here that's having babies every year or every 2 years and say that you are building a family, and you are still classified as at the poverty level, meaning that you are getting federal assistance for your housing, meaning hoods, you are getting child support, you're getting child care vouchers and all of that shit so your kids can actually go to school. You're getting $1,000 to $1,500 a month in federal food stamps so that you can feed your kids, and you lay around on your ass and on your back every day and suck and fuck and keep mess up and stroll on the internet on your free Wi-Fi. I want you to know that I don't give a damn. And they say, oh, well, what about the children? These people didn't even care about their own children. For one, you're already poor. You're already in poverty. Why do you keep on having kids? They have free child family planning. They have free birth control, free condoms at the health department, and y'all still keep having babies so y'all can lock down a man or so y'all can stay on federal assistance. I don't give a motherfucker if they cut you down to $50 a month. Your ass should work 4 jobs to feed them kids. That'll stop your ass from having all them children knowing you can't fucking feed them. And they say, well, if they give us food stamps, they should not be able to tell us what to buy with that, and my children ain't gonna eat that. Your children have been programmed to eat junk because you don't cook. Your children have been programmed to go in there and eat Hot Pockets for breakfast and Cheerios and sweet cereal and all that bullshit that's later on going to give them heart disease and diabetes. And then you want to know why they act like they ain't in their right mind, jumping all over, because it's the proper foods that you're not giving your kids. If you're going to get federal assistance, meaning that you're going to get money from the government, meaning the taxpayers' money, they should have a choice in what you are feeding your family. And if you don't want to do that, then you should get off your lazy ass and get you a job. That's my opinion. Don't shoot